Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would go ahead and do a college Q&A. This is actually going to be a series, so I have a total of 4 videos as of right now, all related to college, just because I know some of you guys are graduating right now, or maybe you already have, or maybe you are in a week, whatever it is. Unfortunately, I know that with everything going on in the world, you probably didn't have the graduation that you anticipated, but trust me, walking across the stage does not affect all of the hard work that you've been doing, and I just wanted to answer some of your guys' questions. So maybe you're graduating high school, or maybe you're graduating college, whatever it is, I have all of the stuff for you. So today is going to be a college Q&A. This is my college experience, and you know, any questions you guys might ask, any advice that you might ask. I also have another one that is what to bring or what not to bring dorm essential video. I also have a video about what I kind of wish I would have known going into college, and then also what no one tells you about post-graduation. So whether you're graduating high school or graduating college, I got you. I even broke out my old merch from college. So this is a Slippery Rock University rain jacket. The only thing about this raincoat is that it's really loud. Like, I feel like as I move around, in case you guys have never seen me before and you have no clue who I am, I just want to say hello. My name is Courtney Raine. So basically, I went to college at a very, very, very small college. It was called Slippery Rock University in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. I started off as a management major. Soon I moved over to marketing, and then eventually I moved over to a major called Integrated Marketing Communications with a specialization in social media. After that, just to give you guys like a little recap, I got an internship with corporate. I started working with them for a little bit after college, and even throughout college I was working with them, and then I moved on to a very small marketing agency, worked there for about 6 months, and then I got the opportunity to do YouTube full-time and move to Los Angeles. So that is currently what I'm doing. It's been 2 years since I graduated, which is crazy. I feel so old, but I'm not old, but I feel old. I'm gonna start off with a few questions that I actually, I did an Instagram poll and I asked you guys what questions you guys would want to know. I got some really good questions, and I wrote down the ones that I really wanted to cover first, and then we will go through and I'll just like randomly select a few from the poll. Also, if you guys have not already subscribed, make sure to go ahead and hit the little subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and turn on that post notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new video. I also do weekly exclusive IGTVs on my Instagram. If you guys want to head over there, it is at Courtney Raine _. It's really cool because on my Instagram I show you guys behind the scenes, I show you bloopers, and I'm also doing, like I said, an exclusive videos. Okay, enough of my rambling. First question, talk about your experience at SRU, the do's and the don'ts. Like I said, I'm gonna make other videos about it, so I think it'll be covered in all of those. The number one thing that I would say is get involved. College is definitely an experience where you make the most that you want it to be. So if you just want to sit in your dorm room the whole time, play video games and go to class, that's cool, but you're not going to have as much fun if you know, don't go and get involved, and you don't join clubs, you don't join organizations. And also, it's all about building a resume. So if you can, like, I got into organizations my freshman year, and I was the president of an organization in my junior year. I would also say network like crazy. I networked from my freshman year, and what I mean by that is go to I can't remember what they're called. They'll bring people like a job show convention, I don't know exactly what it's called, but basically they'll bring professionals onto campus, and you can go and you can listen to their presentations, you can go to their booths, job fairs, thank you. I could not think of that for the world. I'm smart, I went to college. But I started going to those my freshman year. My junior year, right after my junior year, is when I got my internship with a fashion corporation. I interned with them for the summer. It was a paid internship too. Don't let anyone ever tell you, I was told over and over and over again to kiss the idea of getting a paid internship goodbye because it wasn't gonna happen. That's not true. Don't let people scare you. Like, if you want to get a paid internship, get a paid internship. They ended up hiring me on part-time throughout the school year, so I was working, seriously, my senior year I was doing YouTube, I was working, and I was doing school along with being in a bunch of organizations. So I had a very busy senior year, but I truly don't think I would have gotten that internship if I wouldn't have networked for so long. Like, I met the people at that fashion corporation my freshman year, and then I went back my sophomore year, and I went back my junior year. So they knew me by name when it came to junior year. The second question that I got a lot was about making friends. And I think it's so important to, one, like I said, get involved. You're gonna hear me say that all the time, but join clubs, join activities, join sports. I am not the biggest fan of like sororities and fraternities, but if that's your thing, join a sorority, join a fraternity, whatever, just get involved because that's where you're gonna make a lot of your friends. Now, what to do if you are shy? That, I mean, once again, if you get involved, like, people are gonna come up to you, you know? Like, you can't just like join, I don't know, like video club or film club and then sit in the back of the corner. Like, people aren't gonna let you do that. Someone is gonna come up to you and someone's gonna start talking to you. If you're shy, also, don't be. This is a whole new start. Like, college is a whole nother world. You get to be whoever you wanna be. And actually, it's cool because a lot of people feel like they can actually be themselves in college, because if you're with a group of friends and they start to treat you differently, or you don't like the way that, you know, they treat you, whatever, go to a different group. You know what I mean? There's so many people in your college. Chances are there's probably like 5,000 people in your grade. So just move to like a different group. I got a lot of questions about time management. So get an agenda book. If you do not have an agenda, get one. Because I had to learn the hard way my freshman and my sophomore year, because I would literally make plans with people, and I would get a text at 2 o'clock when I'm in my bedroom, I'm eating my lunch, and someone would be like, hey, where are you at? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you told me we were supposed to have lunch today. And it's just like things like that. Like, I would forget, or I would go into class and the professor would say, oh, okay, where was your homework from last week or whatever? And I didn't have it, because not that I'm a bad student, but because I am in this organization, I'm in this organization, like I have my mind in other places, I'm hanging out with friends, all this stuff. Like, I don't have the brain capacity to remember all of it. The fourth question that I got a lot was note-taking. So with note-taking, I would say, I mean, I learned the best actually physically writing notes. My senior year, I got a little bit lazy and I started writing my notes on a laptop. I don't think for me, I learned as well doing that. It's easier, like you can type a lot faster than you can usually write, but I didn't maintain a lot of the information my senior year. Granted, I was a senior, so that could have been it too. Also, if you're nervous about like not being able to write all of the notes, definitely pay attention to what the professor writes on the board. That's a big one. If he writes it on the board, it probably means it's important. A lot of times the professors will post the PowerPoints online, and you can always go to the professors and say, hey, I totally like, I didn't get to finish this slide. Like, is there any way you could pull it back up? Like, you can always do that after class. Usually there's about 10 to 15 minutes in between classes. You should have enough time. Or make friends, like talk to the people beside you. And also same with if you miss a day, you can always reach out to the person who sits beside you, or you can reach out to the professor. Actually, I would just say be careful reaching out to the professor if you missed a day, just because sometimes the professor could say, well, get it from a classmate, or they could say, why weren't you in class? So just a heads up with that one. Tips for what to look for in a roommate and how to be a good roommate. That's an amazing question. So tips for looking for a good roommate, pay attention to the crucial things. Do they smoke, and do you smoke? Are you a night owl or a morning owl? Are they quiet, or are they partiers? Like, things like that, like the big deal breakers. Do they study in the morning? Do they study at night? Do they have a lot of friends come over all the time? Are they partying all the time? Are you gonna be going to bed on a Friday night at 8 o'clock, and are they gonna be going out at, you know, and coming back at 4 o'clock in the morning? Pay attention to those things, because those are really important. Also pay attention, are they clean? Are you clean? Things like that, like those are the important issues that you should really be focusing on. Whereas how to be a good roommate, I mean, it really just comes down to respect. You know, if your roommate's studying and you wanna have a friend over, maybe go into another room, or maybe go into the lounge, or go out to eat. Just being respectful. If you see your roommate studying, respect that. Don't come in and make a lot of noise. Headphones is a big thing. If you see your roommate studying, or even if she's just laying there, you know, and you want to turn on the, you know, your computer or Netflix or whatever, put headphones in. That's just like respect. Be clean. If you guys share a mini fridge, try not to take up the whole mini fridge. Make sure to like split it in half. Try to split the room in half. Like everything should be equal. Like if you're a morning person and they're a night person, try to be really quiet in the morning or try to be really quiet at night. If you smoke and they smoke, I don't know how that's going to work. For me, I hate the smell of smoke, so I literally could not live with a roommate that smoked. That's just me. Also, communication. That is a huge one. If you have an issue with your roommate, don't be passive aggressive. Don't be writing on, you know, whiteboards or whatever. Don't be writing notes. Don't be sending text messages. I would really just like talk to them and be like, hey, I really value you as my roommate, but this is really starting to frustrate me. Could we figure out a compromise? What do you do when you have a degree but don't have a passion for it anymore? So this is a great question, and I definitely want to cover more of this in my other video talking about what no one really tells you about post-graduation. I mean, that kind of happened to me. So I had a major in integrated marketing communications, specializing in social media. I did that for a fashion corporation for a few years, and I just realized the corporate world is not for me. I hate having a boss. Like I had really awesome bosses, but I hated the anxiety that came with it. I hate having a manager over my shoulder. I hate having a supervisor over my shoulder. I hate that I can't do anything. I had no authority to act on anything. Everything I had to ask. Like I felt like I literally had, like I couldn't do anything. Especially, this is gonna sound so weird, and once again, I'm definitely going to talk about this in another video, but the power thing for me was really hard because I went from being in college and I was the president of, you know, this organization, and I had leadership roles and all of this, and I had authority, and I was able to like make decisions and make executive decisions and all this stuff. And then you switch over to the world where now you are on the bottom of the totem pole and you have no say in anything. And so it's like things like that where that took me a long time. But anyway, back to the question of what do you do when you don't have the passion anymore for that degree? Switch it. Like a lot of the times the degree in itself really doesn't matter. Like I had, technically my degree is communications. I could go into graphic design, I can go into video editing, because I don't have a major in video editing, but I have the skills for video editing and I have a degree to back it up. For example, if you're, I'm trying to think, I don't know. If you're a biology major, I'm sure you could go into many other fields if you find out that you don't really like working in biology. Don't feel like you're stuck in that specific major, especially if you're a marketing major. I'm sure you could be an accountant. I'm sure you can go into public relations. I know a lot of people who work in public relations that now are realtors and like it's just like such a different field, but they're able to use what they learned from their degree in this different job. How hard is it being away from home? So I was very lucky that I went to college about 10 minutes away from my parents' house. So I never really had to deal with being away from home. Now I do. I mean, my parents live in Pennsylvania and I'm in California. And so I think the best way to kind of handle that is just FaceTime with them all the time. If you FaceTime with them, it's really like, you don't even really feel like you're gone. I mean, personally, I don't think it was hard. Like I'm really, really, really close with my family, but I actually think the distance made our relationship stronger. Are the classes hard? Your freshman and your sophomore year, probably not. They're probably intro classes. They're probably really, really, really easy classes. A lot of people call them like the 100 classes. Super easy. Your junior and your senior year, they will probably get harder, but they're not unbearable. You could also pick the classes that for the most part, you can pick the classes that you choose. So if you know you suck at biology and you need a science credit, maybe don't choose biology. Did you spend more time studying or having fun? That's a great question. My freshman and sophomore year, I would definitely say I spent a lot of time studying, a lot. I don't know. I think I had a good balance. I think my senior year, it was all having fun all the time, and granted I did work, but I mean I spent a lot of time having fun my senior year because for me, I had this realization my senior year that, oh my gosh, my college experience is almost done and I've spent my entire college experience studying and working and being in all these organizations. Like I just wanted to have fun. So my senior year, yeah, I went out, I partied, I had a great time. I went to bars because I was 21 at that time. And so I would say the first 3 years, I definitely was a much better student than my senior year, but YOLO. Those were all the questions that I had written down. Those were ones that I really wanted to cover. I'm gonna check real quick to see if there's any others on here that I should answer. I'm sorry if this is kind of a long Q&A. Someone said, what was your favorite class? Love you. Love you too. I would say my favorite class was honestly social media, because I am so fascinated in social media, and I got to learn all the analytics and all the hacks and how the, not necessarily how the algorithm works, but like how to like grow on each platform, and it was just really cool. I also got to go to London for that class, so that was also a perk. What was the scariest part of college? That's actually a really awesome question. I think the scariest part for me was finding all of my classes the first week. That was so difficult because I didn't know, especially my freshman year, no idea where any of the buildings are. My freshman year, I sat in the wrong class and they started talking and I was like, this doesn't seem right. And there was also my junior year, I also went to the wrong class and I sat in a biology, so I was supposed to go to biology like 100 whatever, and I ended up going to like a really hard biology class, and I couldn't figure out why there was only like 7 people in the class, and then they started going off about like all of this like super intense stuff, and I leaned over to the person beside me who looked way older than me, and I was like, what am I in right now? And she told me it was like an advanced biology, whatever, solely for biology majors, and I had to like get up in the middle of class. It was so embarrassing. Did affordability play into choosing your college? Yes. I went to Slippery Rock University because one, it's really close to my house, but also it was very, very affordable. How do roommates work, and are you assigned a random roommate? If you don't pick a roommate in advance, yes, but you could also opt in and ask for one, so you can request a roommate, and that's what I did. I roomed with one of my best friends from high school. Did you date in college? If so, how did you balance time with him and studying? So I did. I started dating someone my junior year. I don't think I ever had an issue with it. I think you just have to be able to like, it's just like adding another club, or honestly, it just felt like adding another club or adding another job, because not only do you have your jobs and you have your school, you also have your studying, and then you also had him, and then you just have all of this stuff, and you just kind of have to figure out like a rhythm. Like me and him would go to the library a lot, and we would study, or we would go and get coffee, or we would do a lot of walking. So I would need to take a study break, and I'd be like, hey, and so he'd walk over to my dorm, and we'd go, you know, on an adventure. So just things like that. Someone said, did you ever have a one-night boy fling? Which I think you mean a one-night stand. I think that's what you're trying to say. No, I've never had one. Was it hard to make friends? I would say it was hard to make real, genuine, lifelong friends. Yes, I made a lot of friends, and I had a lot of like acquaintances and nice people that I talked to, but I didn't have any deep friendships until maybe like, once again, like it took me a really long time. I think it was my senior year that I really started making lifelong friends. Last 2 questions. The one is there anything you regret not doing in your college years? For a while, I did regret not being in an actual sorority. I don't regret that now, not at all. I think I regret, I don't know. This is gonna sound so weird and so messed up, but if I were to regret anything, in a way, I regret that I worked my entire college experience. Like, not worked as in a job, but like I was constantly studying, and I was constantly like in this organization, and I constantly was striving to like have a leadership role, and I wanted to be president of every organization I was in, and I just felt like I was constantly like, I was never satisfied. I was constantly like working for the next thing and the next thing, and I had to have this internship, and I had to have this job, and I just like, I was so focused on one thing that I really forgot to have fun, and that's probably why I went crazy my senior year, and I was like, I just want to have fun, and that does not mean partying. I just meant like I just wanted to have fun with my friends all the time, and in a weird way, I don't regret that I worked so hard, but in a way I do, because I feel like I missed out on some experiences that other people have, and like I didn't get to have. And the very last question is, do you recommend living in the dorms for the very first year? Yes, 100%. If I could give you any piece of advice, I wish this was not the last question. You need to live in the dorms your first year, 120%. That's where you make your friends, that's where you grow, that's where you learn how to be a good roommate. It's just different. I'm not saying that you can't have an amazing experience as a commuter, you absolutely can, but it's just different. I would always recommend living in the dorms, at least the first year. If you want to commute the second year, absolutely do it, but that first year, I just feel like the freshman year living in the dorms, like it's a whole experience to itself. Moving away from home, moving into a dorm, getting to decorate your dorm. It's a really cool experience. I would 100% recommend it. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'm gonna have my little subscribe button over here along with my most recent and my little college playlist up here. I love you guys and I'll see you all soon. Bye.